Hi, it's me, your boyfriend slash girlfriend slash they friend's favorite content creator. And am I a sweaty mess right now? Yes. Did I just come back from the gym? Also, yes. So if you're wondering why my face is so shiny, that's why. I work out. I go to the gym, you guys. You don't look like this for free. It costs so much money. You know how much protein I have to eat? You know how much protein costs? I'm 6'8", I'm 295. You know how much I have to eat? It's insane. Speaking of insane, I think it's insane that we are entering an age, or maybe we've already entered an age, where empathy is looked down upon. And I say that because, again, we're talking about the gaming spirit. Obviously, the rest of the world's gone insane, and surprisingly, I'm not trying to get too political in this video right now, even though I'm obviously very political. But we are at a point where we are seeing people actively seeking out and hoping that game developers lose their jobs. We are seeing people revel in a game's failure, all because of a bullshit culture war. I keep telling you guys, this is not a healthy way to live. If you get joy or pleasure from the idea of a company failing, of a game developer studio shutting down, of people losing their jobs because the game that they made wasn't, how do I put it, horny enough, or just anti-woke enough, or it was too diverse, you have demons inside of you that you need to exercise. I am being so serious right now. I can't believe that empathy is becoming cringe to you guys. Like, what happened in your life where you ended up this way? How are you so constantly upset over things you should not be upset about? I understand being mad about, like, again, the state of the world. I'm right there with you. I think it's bullshit that we have, in America at least, a president that seems more interested in lining the pockets of himself and his friends than helping out the citizens of the country that elected him. I am not a fan of the fact that someone like Elon Musk, who has no sort of qualifications of being anywhere in the government, is now running an organization that is outside the government, yet has the power to make changes within the government via suggestions to the president, or straight up, I don't know, staging a financial coup. But you know what? I said I wasn't going to get too political, so let me dial that back. But those are things I understand being upset about. But being mad that a game features a trans person or a disabled person, and so you want it to fail and you're happy about it? Why? So often do I see people still to this day in my comment section and other people's comment sections talking about how, well, this is woke and gay, so it's bad. Do you know how moronic that sounds to a sensible person? There are a billion reasons why a game can fail. It has never been because. It has never been because the characters aren't hot enough. And you want to know how I know that? Because there's a game right now called The First Descendant that is underperforming by a wide margin according to its own developers. It is underperforming. This is a game that the quote unquote anti-woke side has been championing as the way to make video games, how to do it right. And I and other people have always been saying that that shit doesn't really matter. It is the gameplay. And from a gameplay perspective, a lot of people who play the game are disappointed. You want to add jiggle physics, which is obviously like the jingling keys equivalent of, no, I guess the jiggler physics they kind of serve that purpose, never mind. But it's a distraction. If you want a game that has a more in-depth gameplay or a more engaging gameplay loop, adding bouncing titties, while interesting if you're like 12 years old, doesn't fix or address that. That's why I've been trying to tell you guys. There's only so much, let's be real, smut you can put in the game to hide the fact that the game itself is undercooked. And people who play video games understand that. There's a reason why games that you guys call fucking woke are still very popular, because they're good games. They're good at what they do. You hate God of War Ragnarok because there's a black one in it, but guess what? People fucking love God of War Ragnarok. They play that game. They love the gameplay loop. Same thing with Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3. Like, there's games that these people make that you call woke, that they love. And there's games that are made for gooners that do terribly. But again, I'm not saying that because it's a gooner game, it's bad. What I'm focusing on is the fact that mechanically, it is not sound or it's not satisfying. And that's what you should focus on. You guys always talk about how much People just stop putting politics, stop putting agendas in games, but just focus on making a good game. But then when they make a good game, you say it's too political. So you want to champion a game you're never going to play. And then when the game doesn't do well, it's never because of, well, they focus too much on making the characters horny and not enough on gameplay. It's crickets. You guys are inconsistent and also lack empathy. I don't take pleasure in hearing that developers aren't doing well. I really don't. It's not good for the industry. It's not good for just people's livelihoods. So I don't understand why you guys take so much pleasure from this. Why do you derive so much joy from people losing their jobs? Like, legitimately. I'm not happy. Again, I'm going to get a little more political. I'm not happy that even though there's a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump, who I think were completely uneducated, are now suffering because he's making cuts to Medicaid. He's actively harming these people. I think it fucking sucks. I have empathy for these people. I may not agree with them on a political level, and it does piss me off that no matter how much we tell them that this is going to happen, they still do it because they're very, very spiteful people. But I still have a level of empathy on a human level that seeing another human suffering, unless it's well-deserved like a Nazi, is bad. And the fact that you guys have such vitriol for game developers or for people who just play games that you don't like is insane to me. All this live and let live bullshit goes out the window when it's not on your side. So I want you guys to really, really sit with that. Why are you deriving so much pleasure from game studios closing? Because they're woke? You guys can't even prove your own statements. And you think I'm lying? Go watch my last video about verifying sources. You guys literally can't even prove your own statements. I still get comments to this day. People saying, well, you have to admit there's a little bit of too many companies are focused on activism. No, they're not. I can't think of a major company that isn't focused on capitalism. They want to make money. Even the small studios that are super artistic and have a vision, they still want to make money. Varying amounts, sure, but they still want to make money. This isn't like an activist industry. It's really not. You guys just keep using these buzzwords that you don't understand. Explain to me, even if let's say there were activists, explain to me why it's bad. Explain to me why that deserves someone losing their job. I don't think you can. I do not think you can explain it. You guys love to say it. You love to say, oh, to justify it, but oh, well, you know, these guys are woke activists and that's why the game's bad, so I don't feel bad for them. But you're just saying shit to hide the fact that you lack empathy. You can just not say anything, but you're very, very loudly proclaiming to the world that you as individual do not have empathy for other people. And so when people call you out on that and you get all mad and offended, you shouldn't, because you, in fact, are lacking of empathy. I think that's a bad thing. And you should want to feel empathy for other people. You shouldn't be so caught up in a cultural war that ultimately does not impact you just because some YouTubers who have no talent and have decided that it's easier to grift off your emotions than to put in some actual fucking work into their research, onto their content, want you upset. I will always advocate for you guys, okay? Even if you think I'm not on your side, I am looking out for you. These people don't give a fuck about you, okay? They just want to make money. So they'll tell you all these things, and they are eroding your empathy because they themselves lack it. These people lack a conscience. They will say whatever they want just to make money. Most of these people don't even believe the shit that they're saying. Look at someone like Andy Pants Gaming, who basically admitted that he's playing a character. That's why all of his content is so, like, comically fucking evil, right? Like, everything's gay and woke and bad. But then when you see videos of him giving a little speech to his friends, talking about how he wants to be humble and stuff too, it's a contradiction. Why do you think he doesn't show his face in his videos anymore? He doesn't want to be associated with that. He's putting on an act. A lot of these people, especially those who do not show their faces, are putting on acts. But even so, those acts are harmful. They're able to basically erase any sort of empathy that they have in the pursuit of money, of capitalism. And they are affecting you. Empathy is good. It is good to feel things for other people. It is good to take other people's perspective into account. And empathy also, comes out when you were playing a game or watching a video of a movie or, reading a book or watching a TV show, and there's characters from different backgrounds that you're supposed to empathize with. That's a good thing. It's a human connection. And I think a lot of you guys are sorely lacking in that connection, which is why you act like this. So when I tell you to touch grass or go outside, I'm being a little funny, but I'm also being serious. You need to go outside. You need to make friends with people in the real life who are not in this cultural bullshit, so you can actually see how much of an echo chamber you're in and how insane it is. All right, I'm gonna take a shower now.